Hi guys, this is Ashley back with another reading. Before we get into the reading, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. So this reading will be on Wendy Williams, Nicki Minaj, and 50 Cent. And then also I'm going to do a reading on Ariana and The Weeknd. Okay, so like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. So let's start off with the Wendy Williams show. Because, you know, Wendy Williams is, you know, struggling with her health right now. Hopefully she gets better. But also her show just got recently canceled. So I'm just trying to see what's going to happen with Wendy Williams. Now, I never really watched the show like that, I'm going to be honest with you, so I really don't care that much. But I do feel bad that her show did get canceled. She went through a divorce like 2 years ago. So she's going through it. So let's see. What is Wendy Williams' energy right now? Wendy Williams. How does she currently feel? Wendy Williams. Okay, so I have the Knight of Pentacles that talks about being productive. She's trying to strategically think of ways to get back on TV, okay? The Knight of Pentacles represents hard work. She's not completely giving up. And then the Sun card is here in reverse, and that talks about being overly optimistic, okay? Then we have the Death card that talks about an ending. So she is thinking about her show. And then we also have the Seven of Cups in reverse. And that talks about wishful thinking, okay, illusions. So it seems as though she kind of feels like she is able to get back on TV, okay? Do I see it in her future for getting back on TV? No, I feel like that's going to be a struggle for her. Okay, because we have the Eight of Swords in reverse, and that talks about negative thoughts, contemplation. I would say that her spirits are very low right now, so we need to pray for, you know, Wendy Williams. But also her health is taking a toll on her, so she's never going to be 100%. Okay, and then we also have the Two of Cups in reverse, and that talks about disharmony with the production team. I don't know who is the producer of the Wendy Williams show, but she has beef with them. She feels some type of way about them basically giving Sherry Shepherd a show and then canceling hers, okay? The Two of Cups in reverse, that represents like me and you were not seeing eye to eye, okay? And then we also have the Lovers card here, and I feel like Wendy Williams does want to find love again, okay? She does want to find love. She feels like she's missing out. You know, she's older. But the problem is a lot of people attach themselves to Wendy for clout because she's dated men before and it did not last long, okay? So she has to be careful with that. So in regards to the show, I don't feel like it's going to come back, you know, completely for her. But I do feel like she's going to try to get, you know, back on TV. Will Wendy Williams ever find love? That's a good question. Will Wendy Williams ever find love? Wendy Williams. Will Wendy Williams ever find love? I think she definitely will be hooking up with somebody. The Devil card is here that talks about sexual attraction. So I do feel like she will definitely be hooking up with somebody. The Knight of Swords in reverse, that talks about her being impulsive and sometimes clinging on to people very quickly. And then we also have the Empress card in reverse. That talks about her kind of being codependent. You know, people that she's in relationships with, okay? So I do feel like she will be hooking up with people. I don't feel like it's going to be anything long lasting. And then we also have the Nine of Wands in reverse that talks about over investment, okay? So let's move on from that. Let's go on to 50 Cent and Nicki Minaj. How does 50 Cent feel about Nicki Minaj? 50 Cent. How does he currently feel about Nicki Minaj? 50 Cent. He's a rapper and producer. How does he feel about Nicki Minaj? $50 Cent. How does 50 Cent currently feel about Nicki Minaj? Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups in reverse, and that talks about repressed emotions. I do feel like he do like her, okay? Because the Ace of Cups, that talks about when you take a liking to somebody, you have a love for someone, it's genuine, but it's in reverse. So that means that he's repressing his emotion, like he's not fully expressing it to her, okay? Because obviously she's in a relationship. The Page of Cups, that talks about creativity, possibility. So I do feel like there is a chance for them to work together in the future. The 10 of Cups, that talks about family. He feels like, Nicki Minaj kind of sees him as a brother the same way, she sees Drake. And then we have the Strength card that talks about him seeing her as someone that has wisdom, makes smart decisions most of the time. And then the Star card that talks about him seeing her in a positive light, okay? We also have the 9 of Swords in reverse, and that talks about him kind of being there, when things were, not so great for Nicki Minaj. And that probably has a lot to do with the case. There was a lot of people that distanced themselves with Nicki when she was going through it, with that case, any type of negative press. But it seems as though 50 Cent always showed Nicki Minaj love no matter what was out in the media, okay? And I also feel like she has confided in him. Like the 9 of Swords, that talks about sadness. So I feel like she has confided in him to some sort of extent. I don't think she was, running off on the mouth telling him everything about her business, especially in regards to Kenny. But I do feel like she has confided in him about certain things in regards to, how people see her in the media, okay? Or like asking for help. And then we also have the High Priestess. He feels like, they have a connection, okay? So he does see her in a positive light. I do feel like there is, a crush there, but he's not really expressing it because obviously they're both in relationships. He's in a relationship with some Blasian girl, right? Isn't she Blasian or she's mixed? I don't know her name, but I think it's like, Diamond or something? It's something like that. But he's in a relationship. How does Nicki Minaj feel about 50 Cent? Nicki Minaj, how does she feel about 50 Cent? Nicki Minaj, how does she currently feel about 50 Cent? Yeah, she wants to work with him. She is definitely trying to build her connections in the Hollywood acting world, because the 3 of Pentacles, that talks about collaboration, and then we also have the 3 of Cups that talks about connection. It's even like deeper than really working with him. Working with 50. It's almost like she wants to expand into Hollywood, because if she stops doing the music thing, she can go into Hollywood full time. So it's not even like her just working with 50. She wants to really get into acting seriously, do like, her own thing in acting. If you guys remember, she was supposed to produce her own TV show, and that got scrapped, okay? A lot of people say that it was because of the allegations that were against her brother, and that's why it got scrapped. But it doesn't even really matter now because she can do it again. Ace of Pentacles, that talks about opportunities. She feels like he can give her more opportunities. And then we also have the 7 of Swords in reverse, that talks about moving strategically. And then we also have the the Six of Swords that talks about a release of baggage. So he definitely has helped her behind the scenes in regards to probably that music video she did for Do We Have a Problem. Tommy was in it. She definitely has asked him for some sort of advice, and she wants to expand. So it's like, it's bigger than anything with Power or just working with 50. She really wants to find other streams of income in the Hollywood lane, okay? So she does see him as somebody that she can kind of confide in, somebody that has helped her, and somebody that she can kind of learn from, okay? Because, you know, 50 Cent is a producer, but she just wants to work in Hollywood in general. It doesn't even have to really be with them. Okay, but I do see them definitely working together. Let's see. How does The Weeknd feel about Ariana Grande? The Weeknd. How does The Weeknd feel about Ariana Grande? Because if you guys remember, he wrote a song about Ariana on his last album, which I felt like was kind of mid. It wasn't that great. No shade. I like The Weeknd, but he got to come harder and let go of the 80s sound. So how does he feel about Ariana? I'll be honest with you. He has some sort of resentment towards Ariana. The Five of Swords is here. That talks about past resentment, not fully forgiving somebody. And then we also have the Four of Pentacles. They made a lot of money together. This talks about finances, savings, probably because they did about like 4 collaborations together. We also have the Magician card. He kind of feels like she's manipulative. Okay, the Magician, that represents somebody that strategically knows how to get their way. Okay, you know, the King of Wands is here. That talks about entrepreneurship, getting money with somebody, but he has resentment towards her. And the Ace of Swords is here in reverse. That talks about delays, okay, distractions. I kind of feel like he's holding out for Ariana. He feels like eventually they will be together in the future. Okay, he doesn't feel like her marriage is going to last. And we also have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. And that talks about the dark side of wealth. So he kind of feels like the industry is going to kind of pull her away from this guy that she's dating, because he's not in the industry. I think he's like a real estate agent. Just like how, you know, she got pulled away from Mac Miller. Like they were really close. They were dating for like 2 to 3 years and then they broke up. Okay. So he feels like her relationship is not going to last. I would be careful with him. I think he runs off on the mouth a little bit, but that's because he holds a lot of resentment, heartbreak energy. The Queen of Wands is here, and that talks about self-confidence. He kind of feels played by Ariana, okay? So I do feel like they did mess around, okay? You know what he was saying in that record, I heard that you were married. I do feel like there was some truth to, you know, how he feels. And he could run off on the mouth even more, maybe on the next song or whatnot. But he kind of holding out for her. So when you see him with Bella Hadid's best friends or ex-best friends, the Siamese twins or whatever their name is, and Angelina Jolie and this one and that one, he's just dating around. I think he really thinks that he belongs with Ariana. Okay, he really likes that girl for whatever reason. I don't know why. How does Ariana feel about The Weeknd? Ariana, how does she feel about The Weeknd? Ariana Grande, how does she currently feel about The Weeknd? Okay, so we got that card. They got the King of Pentacles that talks about money. They made a lot of money together. The Justice card is here in reverse. That talks about avoidance, okay? So she's kind of avoiding him. And then the Five of Wands, that talks about they've gotten into disagreements behind the scenes. The Five of Wands, that talks about conflict. I do feel like she holds some bitterness towards him because of that record that he put out, because everybody was able to kind of connect the dots. He wasn't really being strategic. I think he was being strategic about it, but he wasn't really throwing subliminal shots, okay? It was super obvious that, you know, that record was about Ariana. The Seven of Pentacles in reverse, that talks about short-term rewards. So she kind of feels like it was a fling. It wasn't anything serious. You need to let it go. And then we also have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and that just talks about work-home conflict, okay? So, you know, that song kind of caused some negativity in her life, okay? And then in the Two of Pentacles, that talks about things could change between them, okay? It's almost like Ariana is not completely closing the door to The Weeknd, but she just doesn't like that he ran off on the mouth, basically threw her under the bus. And we also have, you know, the Seven of Wands, and that talks about challenges, okay? She finds it to be challenging to be with him because she does feel like he's able to kind of strategically say things and kind of put the blame on her, okay? Or put the blame on anybody that he's dating. Like when he was dating Bella Hadid, he made songs about her. You know, and he did, you know, those shots at her in the last album. He threw shots at Selena Gomez. So she kind of feels like, I can't fully trust you because you talk too much, okay? But I do feel like there is a chance that they could be together in the future because the door is not completely closed on either side. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and have an amazing day.